Hello guys, so in this video we will take a deeper look into how to create a layout for our map in order for you to convert it to PDF or to print your map. So we are going to open our California MXD and we are gonna go to View menu on the top and then choose Layout View. And here you have your layout as we saved it last time with the attribute table. You can keep your attribute table or you can remove it, and we can remove it by select it and press delete on the keyboard. Here, if you cannot see the layout toolbar, you can enable it from here. You will go to layout and enable the layout toolbar, and in the layout toolbar you have a default navigation tools like zoom in to your toolbar, go to the previous extent, go to the next extent in the layout, and here also you can navigate your map regularly by zooming out and zoom in inside the map itself. This is for the layout and this is for the map or the map view. Here you zoom out, here you pan, so you can pan the entire layout. Here you change the extent or zoom to 100%. Here you can go back to the previous extent, change the zoom value, how much you want to zoom to be in. So this is just to change how your layout here looks like, so you can control it however you want. And here you can click on toggle draft mode, so this one will change your layout view to look like this without the map or anything else. And you use this sometime if you have a lot of items and objects and data on your layout. It will be heavy and very hard to manage the controls and manage the things to put it in the right place. So you change to the draft mode in order for you to use it in a faster performance. So let's toggle it back. Here you have a focus data frame just to create a focus around your data frame. And here you have the option to change the layout, and this is a good tool here because it gives you a lot of existing templates from Esri. So you have templates based on the paper size. So if you are going to print it on a large paper using a large printer or small paper, you can choose the size of your print page size from here. You will see in every template you choose, it shows you the inches in the height and the width. And here traditional layouts like this, which used in most maps, you can choose any one of them, and also you have so many options to choose from. So let's say for example we will choose Central USA and we click finish, and this is how our template looks like. And as you see here, our legend is very long because we are including the raster images inside the data frames. So let's hide the layers we don't need. Let's hide all the raster images, hide the join cities, keep everything else. And as you see here, we have our legend changed. As you see, you can see the legend title is very small, so you can choose a legend, double click on it, and change the legend symbol here to be size, let's say 10, say okay, and you'll see that the legend changed. You can put the legend here, and you can replace any object on your map anywhere. As you see, the legend is in the background, so we can right click and say order, bring it to the front. So I have the legend here on the front right now, and here is the map title. We can double click on it and it changed the map title to Orange County Cities, and we can change how this symbol looks like, and we press OK, and we will see that the symbol changed. And this template already have the scale bar, so we are just gonna work on how our map looks like right here. So let's bring it here to the top a little bit. And one of the other things we can do is, let's say for example we need to show a graph for certain data. Like for example, I want to show a graph for the area of the cities. I can come right here into Orange County Cities, right click, open the attribute table, and make sure you have show all records selected. So what we will do here is we are going to create a graph, and you have so many options to choose your graph. You have a bar graph options, you have a line, you have area, so you choose which graph will be best to represent your data. But let's say for example I will choose the vertical bar graph, and each different graph type have different properties right here. So for the vertical bar, I choose that I want to show the data for Orange County cities. The value field will be average house price, and the X field will be the average house price. And I want to show the city name as well, and I want to order them ascending. So that will show me the area that have less average price house to the maximum. So let's make it descending. I think this will look better. And also you can hide this legend right here by clicking add to legend. And you can click here to show labels. So here's so many options that you can change the colors, you can change the border style, you can change how your graph looks like, and you can change any graph design from graph type on the top right here. Now let's click next, and finish. Now I have my graph over here, and as you see, it's just a graph shown on my window right here. So what I will do to add it to the layout is right click here and say add to layout. So if I close this one and I close the attribute table, I will see that my graph is added to the map. It looks very small, so let's choose it and make it a little bit bigger and add it to the bottom here. And you can change the size for it however you want, to look big or small, and when you print it, it will look much better. Right now, as you see, the title is Graph of Orange County Cities, and actually this graph is showing cities average house price, and we click OK, and that will change the title for us, so people can know what this graph represents. Also, you can insert, as we saw before, you can insert like the north arrow from here, and let's put this one and let's put it right here on the top right. You can also insert dynamic text, and here you can show the current date. You can add a text right away, so if I enter the current date, it will add today's date, and this can represent the date this map created. And you can insert another, for example, current time, username, author, or you can insert any of this dynamic options right here, like say for example, let's enter the coordinate system, so it will enter the information for the coordinate system for this map right here. Also, we can come here and say insert like a scale bar if I want to add one picture or object. We did that before earlier in the course. So right now let's try something else, like for example, come here to the data frame and right click and say properties, and we have here some tabs that designed to use for the layout, like the grid. So here let's remove this one and create a new grid. This will create a grid to show up on your map. For example, you can design your grid to show however you want, like you can show the lat and long into your grid, you can show the lines. So let's just go for the default values. I'll keep everything the same, but you can change how your grid looks like from here. You can go next, you can change how the lines looks like, the style of the lines for the grid. Go next, and you can change the border line from here as well. We click finish and we apply, and you will see that our layout now have a grid, and it shows the lat and long for the grid, and that will make it easier for people when they look at the map to know what is the location for this map based on the lat and long. And here we have the frame tab to show you, so you can change the border of your layout, you can change the background of the layout. So before we change the background, let's disable the base map layer. You see the background color here. We are going to change this from the properties of the data frame, and we open the frame tab and we come here and say I want to change the border to be red. You can change the design and the size of the border from these options right here. If I click apply, you will see that the border changed it to red. I can change the background to make it, for example, darker blue, and I'll say apply. You'll see that the background changed, and you can change the drop shadow, which is the shadow for the map, to be, for example, like gray, and you choose the x-axis, let's make it 10, and the y-axis -10, and we click apply. You will see that we have a shadow right here for the map, just to make the map look a little bit nicer, and we have our background to change it to blue. So this is the two tabs for the layout, the grid and the frame. The last thing I want to show you here for the layout is to open the data-driven pages. The data-driven pages will basically create a dynamic layout for you that you can use on ArcMap. So it cannot be printed, but you can use this dynamic pages to show different city at the time on the map when you click like move to the next page. So it is basically will create pages based on the values you define by coming here, say data-driven page setup. I want to enable it. I will choose the layer of Orange County cities. Name field is the city name, And sort by, let's say average house price, because this is the one we tried to show in the graph as well. And sort ascending, I'll say okay. And now you see that the map zoomed to one city that have the least average house price, and you can go to the next one right here by clicking on this next page icon, and you can move from a city to another, so you can have a data-driven dynamic layout view that you can manage from here. Also here you can say refresh the data-driven. If you make any changes in the data, if you make any changes in the options, you can refresh it from here. Here you can open the attribute table, and when you select something here, it will be highlighted. If you double click on it, it will zoom in, and also you will see it's highlighted on the graph as well. So if I click on this one, it's highlighted on the graph, and if I double click, it will highlight on the graph, highlight on the map, and zoom to it. So let's disable our data-driven pages and say okay, and try to change our extent back again to show the entire cities. Let's clear the highlight. And now if I select the select element icon right here and I right click anywhere on the layout, I will see some other options like zoom to whole page, like the one we have here, go forward to extent, or paste, or select all elements, and we have these options right here. But what I want to show you is you can enable the rulers, the guides, and show the grid right from here as well, and the margins. So here the rulers, if I disable it, you will see that the rulers on the top disappeared. If I enable it again, you will see that it will come back. Also you have the option to snap to rulers, and here you have the same thing for the guides. You can enable the guides, and the guides is the edges of this ruler, and you have the grid. You can disable or enable the grid, and we have the margins as well. The last thing here, we have ArcMap options, and when you open here you can go to the layout view, and you can change the default options for ArcMap based on the settings right here. So you can change this settings, and every time you open ArcMap, you will get the same settings for your layout view. So this settings, you set it up for ArcMap itself, not the MXD, but for the ArcMap itself. So let's cancel this one, close our layout toolbar, save our MXD, and basically this is the things you need to know for the layout, so you can design your layout however you want. You can figure out what size of papers you want to print, what kind of elements and objects you need to add to your layout, and how to change the legend, how to add graph, how to add data, and how to change your map however you like. So you can create a beautiful designed map however you want. So that's it for the layout, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.